So anyways, working on my car, if you couldn't tell. Got the hood open and stuff. I got blue gloves on because I got some, working with some Never Seas and some dielectric grease. I just don't like getting that stuff on my fingers, It's just so much nicer to be able to pull the gloves off and have clean hands. So anyways, my birthday was like months ago, but I got a LED light bar. I installed that last night and I'm working on wiring it, and I figured, what the heck, I haven't shot in a video in like a year, why not shoot a video? But my camera battery's dead, so I got the thing's plugged in, I ordered 2 new ones. It was like 12 bucks for 2 batteries. It was a pretty sweet deal. So anyways, well, I guess I'll show you what I got done so far. It's supposed to be like a 24-inch light, which apparently includes like the brackets and an inch past it, so it was a very cheap one on eBay. I paid 60 bucks for it, but I got it mounted and it won't move at all, because I can't stand that. Like, back when I had my truck, I had like the 4 giant lights up here, and the first ones I got were so cheap and chintzy. Every time you hit a bump, they'd vibrate and they'd bounce on the road, So this here, it's mounted extremely well. It doesn't even move when you pull on it. I mean, I'm pulling the car back and forth right now. Something just like popped. But anyways, so yeah, I'll show you how I got it mounted. What I ended up doing was I built these. This was all stuff I had laying around, so I didn't want to spend any money on anything. So these, I had this flat bar from a roof rack bike project I did. So I cut 2 of those. I bolted it right to the support here, the bumper support. It's aluminum, I took off the bumper cover and drilled a hole so I could get to the head of the bolt to tighten it, which I didn't really like doing, but what does it matter? So anyways, I got that bolted on there, and I took and I bent a little offset in it since the bumper support is curved, and I wanted them to sit flat. So, and then I bolted the light bar bolts straight to the bars that I made. I'm working on wiring it now, and like I said, it was a super cheap one from eBay. So the whip that comes with it is about like 11 inches long, which doesn't really get you very far. But as you can see, I got my spade terminal on there. It's a heat shrink one, and I'm going to bolt it right there where the radiator support is. I got that ground down to bare metal so I can get that a good ground. And for the time being, since I'm just using stuff I have laying around, where did I put that thing? I got this relay that I found from a previous project. I'm just going to use that, and I'm going to hook it up with the high beams for now. Later down the road, I'll get a switch and I'll have it hooked up so you can turn it on separate from the high beams. It was a pretty tight fit getting it in there. I kind of want to bring it out a little further, so I might put in some spacers between the bar. You can kind of see that bar there. I wonder if I can turn on this light, video light. Boom. So there you can see where that bar came down. I painted it white because, like I said, that's what I found in the garage. It's white paint. You can see it touches the top there, and it touches on the bottom. I had to cut out. There was like a little piece that went between the two. It was more just for looks. It wasn't anything, structural. It wasn't holding the bumper together or nothing. So cut that right out of there. I didn't do a very good job. It wasn't very clean. I just kind of hacked it out of there. But yeah, so the light's in there, and it'd be nice to see what it looks like at night. So I'm gonna get it wired up now. And alright, so I've gotten a little bit further on my wiring. I got my relay mounted here. Let me film it. I'm not like a huge fan of that location, but at least I actually screwed it into something. Usually, they just get, wires, tie strapped into a bundle of wires or something. But now I'm running my control wires here, and so I found my positive wire for my high beams. And this is what I usually like to do. I like to, I use my wire strippers, and I'll cut a section of insulation you know, in 2 different spots I'll take and I'll cut just the insulation. And I'll take my knife, my razor blade knife, and I'll just kind of skim that off. So you're not actually cutting the wire, you're just exposing it. And then I take my other wire, I'll wrap it around the other wire and solder it to it. That way it's a nice connection. You're never going to have to worry about that giving you any problems. A lot of people would probably say, why don't you just use one of these? Because these are garbage. I've never had luck with these stupid things. It's supposed to be so you can, if you look at that side there is open, and then basically what you're supposed to do is you take and you pop that over top of the wire you're trying to tap into, and then you take the wire that's tapping into it, stick it into this end, take and clamp down on this metal piece here, and what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to cut into just the insulation, and this metal bridge here bridges the 2 wires together, but they never work right. They end up having connection issues. I've never had good luck with these stupid things, so I hate using them, and I don't plan to ever use them again. And I don't like using butt splices inside the car. It's fine, but like for stuff like this outside, solder and heat shrink everything. And for something like that connection there, I can't heat shrink it, so I'm just going to take and use some electric tape and cover it over. I'll probably put some dielectric grease on it first just to be a little safer, then wrap it up with tape, keep it from shorting out. But the butt splices, they get, even if you tape them, they get water in them, it corrodes the wires break, and then you have problems. So solder and heat shrink everything. That's I've never had a problem with solder and heat shrink. You're never going to have a problem with it breaking if you do it right. You can't be cold soldering stuff and expecting it to work. You know, you got to solder it right, let it cool, and you'll never have a problem. But, you know, that's the way it works. I don't really like these push-on connector things here. They just make me nervous too. But I was going to use it for all 4 here, but I don't have any more, so I'm just soldering it right to the relay. You know, I mean, that relay, you know, unless you sit there and desolder it and get all the solder off to reuse it, you're never going to be able to reuse that relay. But they're $4 at Advanced Auto, you know, who cares? It's $4. Alright, so I got that fixed. I ran both my positive and negative wires right to the wires for my high beam light. Wasn't exactly the way I wanted to do it, but you know, kind of in a hurry, kind of want to do it right at the same time, you know, but so yeah, we'll see if I can kind of get a shot of it. Low beams and high beams. Back to low beams and high beams. Back to low beams. Parking lights. Left turn signal. Right turn signal. High beams. Parking lights. Off. So there you have it. So now that's all done. So I can put everything back together and clean up a little bit, call it a night. Pretty tired. I put in 10 hours of overtime today. Gonna do probably 12 or more tomorrow. So it's been a busy week. Kinda tired. See, I'll get some shots when it gets dark outside what it looks like. I'm excited to find out what it looks like. Alright, so it's been a few days now since I got the light bar installed. Just gonna do a quick video of it in the dark. It's raining out if you couldn't tell. Oh, I'm getting wet. Should have thought this through and unlocked the car ahead of time. Yeah, just like poured just a couple seconds ago. It was kind of nuts. You know, sometimes it does that, like the rain just falls from the sky. Love it when it happens. But should be able to get a decent video of the LED light bar. I'm just gonna pull up a little bit. Get to drive on my parents' nice new driveway. I just don't want to like blind the neighbors in this video, you know. Ooh, lightning. We just had lightning go off, everybody. I hope there's nothing out here. I really can't see nothing. But get you guys flipped around here. This is the view. Just about the center of the dash with just. This is just the low beams and the fog lights, I think. Yeah, fog lights don't really do much. But and that's with the LED light bar on. Still have some tweaking to do. Shut up. Gosh. Still have some tweaking to do to it. For whatever reason, it points more to the driver's side, so it, like when you're going down the road, it shoots a little more towards the middle of the road than the, you know, the side of the road. So I got to work out some sort of shims or something to try to equal that out, so it's not as noticeable. But it's not bad. Like driving down the road, you really don't notice it, but it's pretty decently bright. I mean, for 60 bucks, I'm impressed. Drive over here. This is a pretty big drop off. You can't really see it as well in the camera as you can here, but it really. All right, fine. I'll just put the dumb thing on. But it really does light up pretty well. It is pretty bright and obnoxious. I took it for a drive through the woods the other night. You guys probably can't see all the bugs. Bugs like the light as well. But I'll get out real quick and get a shot from the outside. And there's a shot of the ground. Let's see how much that changes. A little bit better. You can see it a little better from the outside of the car. I want to try to get it aimed up a little higher and centered. I mean, even still, it lights up the tops of those trees. You can hear the engine when you flick it on. Strain a little bit. So, let me just throw my camera up. So yeah, that is the, see if I can get you guys some light. Oh, this car really sucks. I haven't ever shot many videos in here. My Corolla had a pretty decent light. I just can't see a darn thing now though. Hold on everybody. Drew's driving and he can't see where he's going. Somewhere back there. There used to be a lip because just outside the garage door was concrete. My dad had the driveway overlaid. We had the top coat put on. The driveway was just binder before, but he had it overlaid. So now it's all flush and the blacktop comes right up even with the concrete, and now my little lip is gone. The other day I'm backing up. Oh man, I should really feel that lip soon, because the lip was kind of, you know, I knew how much further I had to go, and yeah, just about went through the door, you know, because I'm like, I know I got a few more inches. I got a little bit more. And then I was like, oh yeah, never mind, I don't. So yeah. That's my LED light bar. Love it. I don't know if I necessarily love it, but for 60 bucks. Thank you, vermin. For 60 bucks, it's not a bad deal. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed my LED light bar installation video.